Here we go! Chat, Wizz's run continues. The first challenger to make it to level 4. If you haven't realized, Chronic actually isn't the last level. It's really seemed like it for the past few players who have run through the gauntlet. Seems like if you make it past Chronic, it's over, you win. But no, believe it or not, there's 2 more 1v1 players behind Chronic. And Dreaz, G2 Dreaz, I should say, is the first of the 2. But let's talk a little bit about Wizz and his run before we go over to the defender in Dreaz. Wizz has been on a tear right now. 3-0 the past 2 levels. 3-0 through Sharp, 3-0 through Chronic, a player who had just been stopping everybody who had been challenging him so far. And a win that Wizz, you know, wasn't really able to get in the past, I don't think. Chronic has always been good at stopping lots of other great players, but Wizz handling it very, very easily. The last time we saw Wizz play officially in a tournament on our stream was in the Next Gen Season 2. Both these guys played in the Next Gen Season 2. In fact, they were in the same pool. Wizz ended up winning the pool and going into the semifinals, but then losing to YungEvoh from the other side of the bracket, or this other pool in the tournament. And his whole run, though, in the Next Gen started with a best of 5 against Dreaz, in which he was able to win in Game 5. And I think winning that game really set the tone, not just for him in Next Gen Season 2, but also for Dreaz. Dreaz, starting off with a loss to Wizz, wasn't able to come back and ended up going 0-3, a very surprising 0-3 from Dreaz. And as we talk about Dreaz, we'll shift over to talking about our 4th defender here. Next Gen Season 2 maybe didn't go so well for him, but a tournament right before that did go very, very well for him. The Feer 500 Season 2, arguably the most stacked tournament we've had on our stream to date. Dreaz ended up being the champion. I don't think he won his pool. I think he might have finished second in his pool, had to play through the lower bracket of the playoffs, but ended up beating Sharp, Chronic, and iRicky on his way to winning the Feer 500 Season 2 finals. And that is maybe the most prestigious, you know, tournament win to hold on to. So that is why he gets to be the second to last defender, only topped by Daniel. But right now, he is all tied up. I almost forgot to mention there for a second. Since Dreaz has played in those 1v1 tournaments, he has turned 15 and no longer qualifies for Next Gen. If we were to do another Next Gen, he wouldn't be able to play in it. But he is old enough for RLCS, which I'm sure he feels much more excited about than he does playing in more Next Gens. And ever since he became eligible for RLCS, G2 picked him up first as a sub and then as a temporary replacement for Rizzo, but he's been playing so well. It would not surprise me one bit at all to see Dreaz stay on the G2 roster. He's been doing well with them. They've at the very least continued to do as well as they did with Rizzo. So Dreaz on the up and up. And for some reason, playing today in a rogue decal. Maybe he hasn't, you know, I know when he was a sub, he was talking about how he hadn't been officially signed by the team. I'm not sure if that's still the case. But, you know, once again, I don't think there's anything in their player contracts that says they can't wear a different team's decal. Dreaz is working his way up in this game, a nice low 50. And, oh my goodness, you talking crap about Rizzo only, Ray? Or are you saying G2 is just not that good? Probably just G2 smack talk in general. Ever since Kronovi left, Only Ray has nothing good to say about G2. Wizz gonna grab a second. Both of these guys known to be quick players who can do anything on the field. Great 1v1ers. Dreaz and Wizz both, you know, have the full range of capability. They can go take it in the air when they need to. They can play smart on the ground, defensive, offensive. They have it all. And that is one of the qualities of these youngsters who have been coming up on the scene. Such well-rounded players. Some of the older 1v1ers are sometimes stuck in a more rigid, smart play style versus a fluid, mechanical one. But the new breed of Rocket League players can do it all, and these guys are exactly that. Dreaz starting off this best of 5, up 1, a nice flick to the top post, and wow, a humongous whiff on the continuation. Was going to have a hard time scoring that shot anyways, but instead he'll give Wizz, combine their names there, Wizz, a tying goal. What boost is Wizz using? Is it standard? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that might be gray standard, if I had to guess. Wizz with possession off this tying kickoff goal, or the kickoff after the tying goal. A very important kickoff to see who can gain momentum for the rest of the series. Sometimes the 1-2 punch of going down 1 and tying it up and it immediately kicking off for a lead can swing an entire series. Players are forced to play a little bit different when behind or in the lead. Dreaz from the side wall. A great flip reset. He's just going to play it slow. If Wizz is not going to come up to meet him, there's no reason to pull the trigger early, but Dreaz didn't want to pre-flip. He had no boost, and he was just rolling slowly to the ball. Thought he was going to make it in time before Wizz recovered, but Wizz had lots and lots of boost. He'll get there and grab a fourth before Dreaz can make up the distance, and a fake kickoff for Wizz. He'll take control with 30 seconds left to go. Wants to play on his terms. Dreaz just barely able to grab that corner boost. Wizz stuck in a tough spot. Dreaz not going to force the issue. Going to give Wizz time to go grab boost on the back wall. His air dribble. Wow, what a save from Wizz. His defense is one of the best in the game, and he will keep what was a very well executed air dribble out of the net. Dreaz had his wheels perfectly placed in front. He's going to let this one dribble all the way out for his fourth. A nice flick at midfield. Dreaz, a crucial flick to tie this game back up, potentially force overtime. Game number 1, such an important game to dictate the pace, dictate the momentum. Wizz, his long shot will not be in. Man, a 1 second longer game, and Wizz has a game win. So Dreaz looking extremely 5-head for letting that ball bounce as many times as it could on its way to tying the score. If he had slapped that in as soon as he could, he actually would have given Wizz that half a second he needed in order to score that kickoff goal. So overtime in game number 1, this is going to be a close matchup. Chat predicting it would go to game 5, and that is not a bad prediction at all. These guys are fairly evenly matched the last time they have went up against each other. Wizz maybe a little bit more focused on the 1v1 ladder as of late, has been topping the ones leaderboard. Dreaz has been understandably focused on threes, as he has had a lot of recent threes success. This air dribble bump will get pre-jumped by Wizz. He needs to recover quickly, and he does. He will be able to keep this away, but at the cost of having absolutely no boost, or almost none. Doing a good job of using the couple pads he was able to grab. Wizz trying to be patient in the corner. Work his way into the net with Dreaz at such low boost. This high pinch. Can Dreaz get up to save it away with very little? No, he can't. And Wizz will drop it just under the post on the far side of the net. A great 50, and capitalizing on what was an extreme boost advantage there at the end. Wizz will take game number 1 as Dreaz has to play from behind. Wizz versus Dreaz. Game number 2. Oh my goodness. A complete mistake on kickoff. Not sure we've seen that direct of a miss in a while. I guess we saw one from LionBlaze. I take that back. LionBlaze had a similar complete miss. Not bad company to keep. LionBlaze and Wizz both letting their opponents slap one in for free. He lagged your voice chat with him. That makes sense. This time, though, Wizz getting to play on his West servers. Normally, both these guys, Dreaz and Wizz, having to play on US East. Almost every Rocket League competition in the US hosted on East servers. But every so once in a while, you get to play somebody on your own. Dreaz, air dribble from the side wall. Nice shot. And it is so important to almost bait what looks like a flip reset. Dreaz, as he comes up off the wall, doing a good job of hovering with wheels out towards the ball, so that if he wanted to, he could use a couple boosts, turn his car down, get a flip reset, which really slows down the play. When his wheels touch the car, it will completely change the direction of the shot. Instead, he just taps it quickly, which Ends up being a tricky outplay. Wizz planning on the flip reset coming. Can't recover in time to the surprising speed. And Dreaz will get a second and then a third. Another nice flick. A 3-0 lead for Dreaz. Only 44 seconds in. Who is the highest rated player in your server? Daniel is the top of the gauntlet, if that's what you're trying to ask. Dreaz, a nice 50 on the goal line. A close back and forth game number one. Dreaz with a minute in. Gonna get himself a bit of a lead. Dreaz soft flick, saved away. So strong. Dreaz, more than any of the other players we have play on stream, has been known for willing to just slap, you know, well-placed shots, even though he knows they're gonna get saved. Nice demo will be a fourth for him. But he'll just, you know, place a power shot top corner, even though the defender's there, just to force a few tough saves in a row and then secure the continuation goal. And that's something that lots of players do, but we talked about before, Dreaz a little bit more willing to stick to that strategy than others. That was a very interesting kickoff from Dreaz. Didn't work, and he's gonna let Wizz into this game. Interesting decision from Dreaz to mix it up, considering it's been working so well for him. I've never really seen someone go for the flip reset kickoff. We've seen the single jump wave dash kickoff, but apparently Dreaz trying to make the flip reset kickoff meta, and it didn't work. Dreaz challenging the side wall, using up all his boost to get up midair, make sure that Wizz doesn't have an opportunity to take an aerial shot. And a nice challenge, and Dreaz has Wizz figured out, at least for the first couple of minutes here. All of a sudden, Wizz looking like he could never find a way to score. His flick attempt immediately taken away. Wizz has had some really good air dribble bumps when given space in the past. Dreaz hasn't really given him the space to do that just yet. But Wizz might have just bought himself some space here with a great kickoff. Dreaz bumping him at midfield instead of going back to net and staying glued to the ground. Not the best of setups from Wizz. He just tried a chip shot bump instead of sticking up with the dribble. Probably because he got a little bit too much heat. Man, Dreaz is just getting so many midfield outplays right now against Wizz. I wonder if Wizz feeling a little bit nervous here at the start of this game. Reacting a little bit late to the flick by Dreaz. Dreaz gonna go up 6-1. Don't know why Wizz would be nervous after taking game number one. Maybe Dreaz just too quick, too strong in this game number two. Dreaz holding on to all 70 of his boost in his back half. He's been playing this really patient with Wizz in his corner. Does not want to leave himself starved out. A smart player indeed. This time he can't cut the ball underneath. He wanted to get a dribble on top of his car, but the ball was rolling, glued to the ground. So it takes a couple touches to tap it one way and the other to get underneath it. And Wizz saw the read long before Dreaz had finished. Able to challenge and take it away. Eventually get his second goal. A little over halfway through this game number two. Dreaz has a big lead, but Wizz has put some nasty clips on in the past couple games, and this will be the first of this series. A nice musty to the bottom right corner. Not a lot of height on this ball, but enough of a placement. Dreaz had just accelerated and then hit the brakes. If you watch Dreaz in the net there, he saw what he thought was coming, but didn't commit to it hard enough, pulled back from it a little bit, or maybe that was the speed up and slow-mo of the shot that made it look like that. Either way, he wasn't able to get there. Dreaz not going to win this race out into the corner. Wizz cutting immediately back towards net. He wants a low boost Dreaz to have to make as many tough decisions as possible, and there is one of the decisions that might result in a Wizz goal. Dreaz, what a recovery. Not over yet though, and Wizz will eventually score. Very smart from Wizz. As soon as he saw that opportunity to starve Dreaz out after winning that corner boost, he doesn't take the ball to midfield. He doesn't try and set up for any special play. He cuts the ball instantly at net as soon as he can to make sure Dreaz has no time to grab anything, has to continue to make those zero boost saves. Dreaz up the side wall, able to tape this one away. I think Wizz didn't get as strong of a setup as he thought he did. Needed to keep that one from crossing through the net at ground level. That's been the big issue so far with Wizz's bump plays. When you go for them, you need the ball to cross the plane of the net in the air. You want to force that defender to jump. And that makes it much, much easier to line up your demo on them. If they can wait and let the ball come hit the ground in front of the net, it makes saving it so much easier. You end up having way more opportunities in terms of dodging the bump. And right now, that's what Dreaz has been able to do. He's just been able to sneak underneath the bumps from Wizz. Nice win for the boost, and this should be an easy counterattack. Man, it's just a beauty how good these guys are. Like, this is a hard shot, but you just know Dreaz is going to hit it as soon as he wins this out. A great first tap, floats to the ball, needs the ground pitch to get the speed to keep Wizz away, but it was never, ever in doubt. You could tell from the moment he won out in the corner that he was getting a goal. Dreaz up 7-4. Trying to hold down for the defenders. Chronic has done him very, very well. Made it so that he does not have to play a lot of opponents. This is his first, and looking like he will likely tie it back up. 19 seconds left to go. Wizz trying to play patient and slow. Not sure he has that kind of time. Dreaz, no reason to shoot. He'll take it to the side wall. He'll be taking this game number 2 unless some serious miracles happen. Dreaz will tie it up in this best of 5. Game 1 to Wizz in overtime, I believe, but game 2 to Dreaz in serious fashion. Daniel used the last time I watched him in replays. When he grinded to rank 1, Daniel was using this car. Dreaz is so 5-head, dude. Channeling the top defender's energy by using one of his cars. Ooh, Dreaz. I like that. That was cheeky. I don't know if he went for the power or intentionally went for the fake and hoped that Wizz was going to pre-jump his power shot. But I like that thought. His power shot seemed inevitable. So maybe he thought Wizz would be taking it. Wow, what a strong shot with absolutely no boost. Goes to show how important a nice air roll and perfect connection with the ball is. You do not need to be moving that fast or have any boost to rip a top corner shot. Dreaz, dribble from the corner. All the way. This time he's going to go 50, and that is a great mix-up from what he was doing earlier. Last time he went for one of these air dribbles, he tapped it fast. This time, pulls off the ball at the last moment, puts those wheels first, and you could tell Wizz having to kind of recover lower than he expected. Had to turn his car back down towards the challenge instead of flying straight up into it. And Dreaz, a great job of keeping Wizz guessing. Wizz is one of the better defenders, especially against shots like that. Dreaz, a wave dash on the wall, almost able to sneak a quick shot. But he has kept Wizz completely starved of boost here at the kickoff. He's going to let Wizz have possession, which is always dangerous. In fact, he's going to get scored on. Yeah, I mean, sometimes players fall a little bit too in love with grabbing boost. And as long as he doesn't miss in this corner or sets himself up a little bit better on defense, you know, there's a good chance he gets a counterattack after starving Wizz, but I'm not sure it's worth giving a player as good as Wizz a free shot opportunity. Dreaz will take it right back, though. A good kickoff can always erase a bit of a mistake. Dreaz, 2 direct kickoff goals. These are the kind of things that win series. We have a lot of the time left on the clock, 3 minutes and 46 seconds, but just remember, Dreaz ends up winning this game by 1 or 2. The difference was him being able to slap in a couple absolutely free ones right around here in the mid game. Dreaz, a delayed shot from Wizz. Dreaz can't get there. Wizz with a big boost advantage. Wow, such a deep fake challenge. Dreaz just left in a little bit of an awkward spot after that. Didn't want to challenge Wizz in the corner. Thought that 50 wouldn't go well for him. But I'm not sure he can afford to go that deep without doing something. Dreaz trying to get greedy, and it's going to work. A nice steal in the back corner boost. He needs a good spawn, and he didn't get the best of him. Wizz, if he had been put on that other side of the field, I think Dreaz would have been able to power shot to the bottom corner instead. Wizz spawns in the perfect spot, and the counterattack on Dreaz's dribble play will give him a third. Great spawn, good RNG. Wizz knows what he's doing. And he'll tie the game up. A wave dash secondary kickoff from Wizz. Not going for the wave dash on the first one. What a strong shot, but completely read by Wizz. Now, this is not, you know, the normal way to play defense. I think Wizz just realized the potential. Never mind. Watching it from Wizz's perspective actually did seem pretty simple, but Wizz keeping up the pace. If he doesn't stay supersonic and stay boosting on his way through that corner, Dreaz could find the angle. But instead, Wizz doing a great job, staying fast, is able to cut through that power shot and make it look like a terrible idea, despite the fact it probably would have scored against majority of Dreaz's opponents. Nice pre-flip to get this ball high. He's got very little boost. He needs to keep Wizz from getting a good shot, and he can't do it. 4-stepped into the air. Wizz just kind of hovering. He'll sit there and he'll take a shot attempt if Dreaz doesn't come off the wall. So Dreaz really does have to show and try and defend. But a 2-goal deficit for Dreaz. Right now, those kickoff goals not looking like the difference in his win. Instead, looking like the only thing that's keeping him in it. As Dreaz has been running it up since the 3-1 lead. Or sorry, Wizz has been running it up. Dreaz, nice dribble, man. He has such tricky dribbles. Let's watch this from Wizz's perspective. That last little touch right at the end, scooping it above the challenge. Just whoop. A nice 1-2 as he rolls over it. And Wizz absolutely outplayed as Dreaz drops in a fourth. Alpha wheels and the road decal. Yeah, the yellow matches pretty nicely. Risky challenge from Dreaz, trying to get back in this one. Instead, he'll let Wizz have one for free. Thought he could punish Wizz for going for that midfield boost instead of the ball. But Wizz, a good job to recover and get a soft tap. And look at that, another kickoff goal for Wizz. Never mind, take it back. Great recovery from Dreaz. Called it a little bit too soon. Dreaz stuck in his own half with absolutely nothing. So far this series, Wizz has done a good job of securing these possessions, but he is going to let Dreaz all the way out of his half. He hasn't let him pick up any boost, and usually that's what you need to make a save. No, great recovery as Dreaz gets bumped. His dribble from the wall. Not a lot of heat. My good, how does he do this? He is just catching Wizz off guard every single dribble. This ball was nowhere near the net. Wizz didn't seem like he had to challenge that early, but instead he's hovering with his shadow right where he expects the ball to come down to the ground. And that enables Dreaz to get a soft tap above him and score a fifth. Wizz maybe could have afforded to play defense a little bit farther away from the ball, a little bit closer to the net. There was lots of room between him and the net. But afraid of what Dreaz can do in the air. Trying to challenge early hasn't worked for him though. A minute 15 left to go. Dreaz a fake dribble this time, using the backwards wave dash to stay behind the ball. Another backwards wave dash, not gonna work. He was trying to bait Wizz into a mistake and push his car backwards. So oh no, Wizz! Will the power shot go in? No, great recovery. Luckily for Wizz, he had starved Dreaz out of some boost, and Dreaz didn't have what he needed to capitalize on that huge whiff. 50 seconds left, a very important game number 3. Looking like it's heading in Wizz's favor. That double match point is such a nice thing to have. 2 opportunities to take it in 5. Dreaz will get a kickoff goal, and he'll bounce in and out. But it'll eventually go in. 43 seconds. It's controller DC. Don't want your controller to DC. That's not a good thing. Wizz in the air. He has looked lethal with these, but Dreaz is a great defender in his own right. A nice check for Wizz. See if he was going to demo him on the way to the midfield boost, but no. Dreaz has an open opportunity. He's going to go air dribble bump. Can he get to the ball in time? He does, and Dreaz ties it up with 23 seconds left to go. Chat, you heard me talk about it earlier. Think about those 2 direct kickoffs. I think Wizz did get 1 direct kickoff of his own. So it's just a single bonus direct kickoff by Dreaz has him tied in this 23-second tied game. as opposed to being down 1. Wizz, though, a kickoff in his favor. He's going to air dribble, bump back the other way. Dreaz saves him on the goal line. Wizz tries to bump him out of the way, but he gets the ball as well. So now he's going to have to play defense against a full boost Dreaz. A good first challenge. Gets Dreaz back in his own half, but Dreaz is going to go for the full field dribble. He's been nasty with these. He has found a way to score on Wizz almost every time. This time he's going to go double touch. Wizz will save it high. Can't get to the ball. Overtime in game number 3. The most important overtime you could ever hope for. The game 3 swing, such an important one. Dreaz able to get the first kickoff. Bounce dribble, placed high. Wizz did not land very well on the back wall, but he's able to stay with the ball and get one more touch. Dreaz above him. Can Wizz stay in the way? The pre-flip. Will he get there? He will. Oh my goodness, Wizz. Able to stay alive in a very tough situation. Dreaz, he power shots right away. He had Wizz stuck on low boost in his half. He had him in such a terrible spot. Dreaz usually would play a slow play and slowly drain Wizz as he sits with low boost. Instead, Dreaz ripped an immediate power shot, which gave away possession and was not close to going in. But he's found another opportunity on offense here. This early flick easily tapped away. Dreaz not able to find the power. He'll cut it right back on net, though. A fake flick and then a real one, and Dreaz will win game number 3. He dominated all this overtime, almost made a crucial mistake, but eventually gets the goal on a great fake. Wizz thought, no way is he going for it twice. Dreaz able to take game number 3 and go up 2-1. Game number 4. Dreaz, his first opportunity to defend the gauntlet. Who knows how much he's been itching to play. I've been talking to Dreaz every time Chronic has had a matchup. I said, hey, just so you know, man, if they win, you're up. He's like, yeah, I'm ready. Well, he's finally getting his opportunity to prove just how ready he was. Up 2-1 against Wizz in a best of 5. And I just love, I mentioned it before, but I love that this game is played on their West servers. Both these guys having to deal with the caveat of every one of their losses being, well, they had to play it on East. You know, they didn't get quite the ping the East guys did. But no, this one, we're playing on West for both of them. They actually have exactly the same ping. Maybe they live in the same house. I don't know. That being said, Wizz will tie it up here at the start of game number 4. Both these guys have been mixing up the kickoff somewhat regularly. Dreaz, nice pull off the ball. Wow, Dreaz's mental game right now in this 1v1 is top notch. He's doing such a good job of mixing up this attack. Normally, Wizz makes attackers look absolutely silly. He defends so well against all the best offensive threats, but Dreaz is just doing way too good of a job of mixing up everything he's going for. No single shot is coming out twice. Nice power shot for a third. Dreaz, 30 seconds in, up 2. Wants to end it here, I'm sure. Doesn't want to go to another game number 5 with Wizz. Cannot force it fast enough on this kickoff. But he's kept Wizz in his net for the entirety of this game, it feels like. Wizz was able to get that 1 goal, but since then, Dreaz hasn't let him leave his back third. Finally, Wizz with lots of boost. An early flick. Maybe feeling a bit of the pressure and acting faster than he normally would, ripping that ball from his possession as soon as he has it. Wizz high on the ceiling, but you'll never see a player, or you'll usually never see a player, nice air dribble, but take that that setup off the wall. When that ball's falling down, it's so much harder to get it going with an air dribble or any sort of aerial. Usually these guys only taking the high aerial plays when the ball has momentum with them. Dreaz still can't challenge, though, because at any moment, Wizz just pops off the wall and taps it over for a goal. That being said, Wizz goes back to old reliable. It's worked well for him in this entire gauntlet. The air dribble bumps, why not do them when you're as consistent with them as Wizz is? Nice boost steal from Dreaz. He didn't like his first jump, so he pulls it into a backflip. And he's got Wizz rolling over pads. Could not get up in time for this one, but he should have a huge advantage in terms of boost in order to recover. Trying to pop it up and get his wheels first to stop Wizz. 3-2 Dreaz, such good recoveries. It seems like so many different times he's put himself in a tough spot. But he has such a quick first flip. He's got an outplay at midfield. Can he find a way to score this? No, a little bit of an awkward touch. Dreaz, never mind, he will. He didn't score it fast. Wizz was able to make it back. That's what I meant by saying no. But he eventually punishes him either way. Falling from the ceiling, Wizz off the wall. Thought Dreaz was going to be taking the flip early, but instead he lets it drop. And I tell you what, as soon as Wizz starts thinking he can wait on the ground because Dreaz will let it drop, Dreaz will use that flip and continue to make Wizz look wrong on defense. Dreaz, lots of space, power shot as he sees Wizz trying to close the distance. Wizz making his possession play into the corner. And Dreaz trying to stick with him despite not having almost any boost. Great steal right now, and now these guys going back and forth on possession and boost. Finally, Dreaz gonna get some open field. He's been ripping some power shots, and he's gonna demo Wizz. He should be able to get a shot back on before Wizz can spawn. A 5-2 lead for Dreaz. The story of game number 4 for Dreaz so far has been boomers of power shots. Every moment he can, he is ripping one over Wizz and to the net. And it's worked for him as he has a 3-goal lead. 2 minutes left to go. 3-goal leads are nothing here in 1v1s like we know, but Wizz, maybe a finger slip on the controller. Tough to see, and it's going to cost him a goal. Maybe another controller disconnect. We've got dog smoke weed in our ear letting us know what's happening with Wizz, but just a miss there. And a very, very crucial moment. Wizz needs to start playing perfect right now in the last minute 40 to bring back these last 4 goals. When these guys faced in the next gen, the stakes weren't quite as high. Lots of pool play left to go, but every single game in this gauntlet is your last if you can't get a win. And Dreaz right now looking like he's on track. Oh my goodness. Crossbar and out. That was about the nuttiest shot we've seen all series. But just barely not able to score. Instead, Wizz goes the other way. Wizz says, I know you just feel sad about the fact Dreaz wasn't able to hit a clip. I'll hit it for you, don't worry. Flip reset double. Top shelf from Wizz. That is going to light a little bit of a fire underneath Wizz, I'm sure. In this last minute, we're going to need to see the cleanest play we've seen from him all series. And he's got a kickoff win in his favor. Dreaz tried to pre-jump it. He feels the pressure of Wizz, and Wizz will get one for free. Wizz, he basically just earned 2 goals with that single shot. Dreaz has had enough of Wizz playing fast. Tried to pre-jump his challenge and couldn't do it. A minute left to go. Dreaz cannot afford to play too defensive and pull off the gas just yet. Lots of time left on the clock, and Wizz so good on offense if Dreaz doesn't keep the pressure, but he has right now. Low on boost, not willing to leave Wizz, and could be in trouble as he's retreating with nothing. He's able to dodge a double jump pop demo, something that Wizz has done so well, but he has telegraphed it just a little bit. That flip reset is going to go right into the defender. Dreaz has no reason to shoot the strong, but man, did he wait until the last possible moment to take his 7th goal. Great positioning from Dreaz, doing something that we haven't really seen from Wizz. Every time Dreaz was dribbling on the side wall, he found a way to score it. Wizz not able to, as Dreaz saves it away. 22 seconds left. Dreaz, his first opportunity to defend. Looks like it's gonna happen, as he will be going 1-0. Defending the gauntlet. Says, thanks Chronic for keeping most of these guys away. I'll take down the player that you can't. And as a team, the gauntlet, wow, stays completely defended. Dreaz leaving before it's over. GG's from these guys as Dreaz takes it 3-1. Game number 4. Dreaz, his first opportunity to defend the gauntlet. Who knows how much he's been itching to play. I've been talking to Dreaz every time Chronic has had a matchup. I said, hey, just so you know, man, if they win, you're up. He's like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Well, he's finally getting his opportunity to prove just how ready he was. Up 2-1 against Wizz in a best of 5. And I just love, I mentioned it before, but I love that this game is played on their West servers. Both these guys having to deal with the caveat of every one of their losses being, well, they had to play it on East. You know, they didn't get quite the ping the East guys did. But no, this one, we're playing on West for both of them. They actually have exactly the same ping. Maybe they live in the same house. I don't know. That being said, Wizz will tie it up here at the start of game number 4. Both these guys have been mixing up the kickoff somewhat regularly. Dreaz, nice pull off the ball. Wow, Dreaz's mental game right now in this 1v1 is top notch. He's doing such a good job of mixing up this attack. Normally, Wizz makes attackers look absolutely silly. He defends so well against all the best offensive threats, but Dreaz is just doing way too good of a job of mixing up everything he's going for. No single shot is coming out twice. Nice power shot for a third. Dreaz, 30 seconds in, up 2. Wants to end it here, I'm sure. Doesn't want to go to another game number 5 with Wizz. Cannot force it fast enough on this kickoff. But he's kept Wizz in his net for the entirety of this game, it feels like. Wizz was able to get that 1 goal, but since then, Dreaz hasn't let him leave his back third. Finally, Wizz with lots of boost. An early flick. Maybe feeling a bit of the pressure and acting faster than he normally would. Ripping that ball from his possession as soon as he has it. Wizz high on the ceiling, but you'll never see a player, or you'll usually never see a player, nice air dribble, but take that that setup off the wall. When that ball's falling down, it's so much harder to get it going with an air dribble or any sort of aerial. Usually these guys only taking the high aerial plays when the ball has momentum with them. Dreaz still can't challenge though, because at any moment Wizz just pops off the wall and taps it over for a goal. That being said, Wizz goes back to old reliable. It's worked well for him in this entire gauntlet. The air dribble bumps, why not do them when you're as consistent with them as Wizz is? Nice boost steal from Dreaz. He didn't like his first jump, so he pulls it into a backflip. And he's got Wizz rolling over pads. Could not get up in time for this one, but he should have a huge advantage in terms of boost in order to recover. Trying to pop it up and get his wheels first to stop Wizz. 3-2. Dreaz, such good recoveries. It seems like so many different times he's put himself in a tough spot. But he has such a quick first flip. He's got an outplay at midfield. Can he find a way to score this? No, a little bit of an awkward touch. Dreaz, never mind, he will. He didn't score it fast. Wizz was able to make it back. That's what I meant by saying no. But he eventually punishes him either way. Falling from the ceiling, Wizz off the wall. Thought Dreaz was going to be taking the flip early, but instead he lets it drop. And I tell you what, as soon as Wizz starts thinking he can wait on the ground because Dreaz will let it drop, Dreaz will use that flip and continue to make Wizz look wrong on defense. Dreaz, lots of space, power shot as he sees Wizz trying to close the distance. Wizz making his possession play into the corner. And Dreaz trying to stick with him despite not having almost any boost. Great steal right now, and now these guys going back and forth on possession and boost. Finally, Dreaz gonna get some open field. He's been ripping some power shots, and he's gonna demo Wizz. He should be able to get a shot back on before Wizz can spawn. A 5-2 lead for Dreaz. The story of game number 4 for Dreaz so far has been boomers of power shots. Every moment he can, he is ripping one over Wizz and to the net. And it's worked for him as he has a 3-goal lead. 2 minutes left to go. 3-goal leads are nothing here in 1v1s like we know, but Wizz, maybe a finger slip on the controller. Tough to see, and it's going to cost him a goal. Maybe another controller disconnect. We've got dog smoke weed in our ear letting us know what's happening with Wizz, but just a miss there. And a very, very crucial moment. Wizz needs to start playing perfect right now in the last minute 40 to bring back these last 4 goals. When these guys faced in the next gen, the stakes weren't quite as high. Lots of pool play left to go, but every single game in this gauntlet is your last if you can't get a win. And Dreaz right now looking like he's on track. Oh my goodness. Crossbar and out. That was about the nuttiest shot we've seen all series, but just barely not able to score. Instead, Wizz goes the other way. Wizz says, I know you just feel sad about the fact Dreaz wasn't able to hit a clip. I'll hit it for you, don't worry. Flip reset double. Top shelf from Wizz. That is gonna light a little bit of a fire underneath Wizz, I'm sure. In this last minute, we're gonna need to see the cleanest play we've seen from him all series. And he's got a kickoff win in his favor. Dreaz tried to pre-jump it. He feels the pressure of Wizz, and Wizz will get one for free. Wizz, he basically just earned 2 goals with that single shot. Dreaz has had enough of Wizz playing fast. Tried to pre-jump his challenge and couldn't do it. A minute left to go. Dreaz cannot afford to play too defensive and pull off the gas just yet. Lots of time left on the clock, and Wizz so good on offense if Dreaz doesn't keep the pressure, but he has right now. Low on boost, not willing to leave Wizz, and could be in trouble as he's retreating with nothing. He's able to dodge a double jump pop demo, something that Wizz has done so well, but he has telegraphed it just a little bit. That flip reset is going to go right into the defender. Dreaz has no reason to shoot the strong, but man, did he wait until the last possible moment to take his 7th goal. Great positioning from Dreaz, doing something that we haven't really seen from Wizz. Every time Dreaz was dribbling on the side wall, he found a way to score it. Wizz not able to, as Dreaz saves it away. 22 seconds left. Dreaz, his first opportunity to defend, looks like it's gonna happen, as he will be going 1-0. Defending the gauntlet. Says, thanks Chronic for keeping most of these guys away. I'll take down the player that you can't. And as a team, the gauntlet, wow, stays completely defended. Dreaz leaving before it's over. GG's from these guys as Dreaz takes it 3-1.